name's Devon Lindsey. I work at Apple as a senior software engineer, and I run the SF Bay React.js Meetup.
So what exciting things have you been building with React lately?
I wouldn't really say that anything that I'm doing is on like the cusp of innovation and excitement. I really feel like React is getting to the place where it's kind of less exciting and more like stabilizing, and it's more interesting to like see what can be built with React that isn't part of like the core platform or the core offering, not something that's maybe even an offering like in a module, but like what you can use React to like future-proof your life. I'm really into like Internet of Things software. I got this implant in my hand, a little NFC implant, and I'm writing like a React native app so that we can swipe our hands when we run into the house, and then it'll turn on the heat and like, you know, turn off the alarm and unlock the front door and stuff. So there's all sorts of big world problems that aren't really problems at all that you can solve with, you know, tech innovation.
It's really exciting. So mainly your side projects have been revolving around React and IoT.
Yeah, I'd say so. And then, you know, professionally, we're really focused. It's like the transition of a growing team and a growing product. We're fighting the hard battle of when to keep things dry and when it's like an over-modularization and you're just fighting a fight of abstracting an abstraction, or like where to keep your CSS. Everybody's constantly fighting about that. Those sorts of common, like everyday problems, you know, I deal with. And then I go home and do something fun.
Since you're a community organizer, I'm sure you see a lot of the cutting edge, random, cool things that people are doing with React. What are some of your favorite projects?
Ooh, that's a good question. I honestly like get the most excited about the blog posts that I see. So like, I know I'm a dead horse. Is that the idiom?
Beating a dead horse?
Yeah, I'm a beat a dead horse about like create React app, but I'm so stoked about that project and how like many contributors there are to the project, because I do a side project where I teach youth how to like, you know, create an application and get it up and running on Heroku, and using that and abstracting out all of like the complications of creating an app has been super awesome. And it's not necessarily like heart stop, like, oh my God, that's so cool. But to me, it helps everyone out. It becomes a tool that like all of these kids who are like, this is my favorite lipstick, or, you know, I have something to say that's a political platform and I'm 16 years old, or those sorts of kids have an easier barrier to entry to like do their fun and interesting thing.
I've recently just been, I went and taught a bunch of fourth graders for an hour and a half, and the idea of code in public schools, or learning how to code for fourth graders in public schools, I would say is not amazingly thought out yet, nor is it actually coding. So I was thinking that now with Create React App, you can simply do things like, hey, everybody just get on your computer and npm install Create React App, and then we can go from there.
Yeah.
Instead of having to teach people all these different little things and how to set up your dev environment and all that jazz.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's what I love as well.
Yeah. React VR, anything, have you messed around with it?
No, I haven't. I mean, I think, I was just having this talk with Sam Mueller, who used to be at Yahoo, and we were talking about like where the React and the VR space, like, or augmented reality space kind of like lives. I'd really like to see some like awesome apps. I mean, anybody that's out there who wants to speak at the React Meetup about augmented reality and React, I am so on board for that. I want to see where it's going, and I haven't seen anything yet. Nobody's really experimenting. I'm not experimenting either.
Mm-hmm. Any interesting libraries that you've seen sort of help implement things like the IoT stuff you're doing, or have you created any cool?
On iOS, there's no like RFID reader natively on the phone, and only on some like Android phones there are. So there's a lot of like plug and play hardware that you incorporate with like the API and then try to write your own software. But there's no real good like client-facing libraries. And I have like 9 of those, and I wish that I was more on point because I would be able to tell them. But I could tweet about it later or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of like good hardware of people trying to solve the space of incorporating all of your different Internet of things together, like your Hue and your August and your Nest and your Alexa and your Siri and that sort of stuff. As far as like just the day-to-day technologies though, like I'm super into CSS modules like pure CSS and stuff. That makes my life a whole lot easier. And then like I've always been a big fan of components like Gridle. It's a table abstraction layer so that you can just iterate over content quickly and then abstract out like creating actual tables and then have very like interactable content inside your table. So I don't know. I like those libraries.
That's exciting. A lot of exciting things happening in the React community. What would you say, so being in a lot of different JavaScript communities, you see sort of similarities or you get a feel of what the community is like. What could you generalize about the React community?
I have too been a lot of, maybe not as much a part of a lot of JavaScript communities as just like software communities, and especially finding my way in those communities as a woman. I think that the cool thing about this community is that it's just so much more diverse than any other like group that I've been a member in. And I know we're making a conscious effort to include like people of color and women and like make sure that everyone feels that they're in a safe space. But I think this community in general is like not into shutting each other down because they don't understand a technology or calling each other stupid. It's all about like, posting a blog post, challenging each other in comments and finding like an applicable solution in which everyone feels included and everyone feels empowered to contribute on a constant basis. Because I think we all realize that like this community wouldn't have gotten where it was if it wasn't for the community itself, contributing back constantly and asking questions and trying to innovate and, inevitably starting at places like Facebook.
How do you feel about open source?
I love the fact that there's this place where people contribute and you can get software for free, especially as like a person that's starting off, and you can look into it and understand the way that it works before you start using it and add your dependencies to it. You can become completely aware of it. But at the same time, sometimes it's just like so demanding. I took a break from React for a couple months because it's just being on call all the time to an open source community that's like very demanding and insistent upon your time all the time and critical of everything that you do. It's hard, Yeah, I have mixed feelings about open source.
Any advice? People wanting to do, let's say, open source in React.
Open source in React, I think like get yourself an NPM module, get yourself set up and create some code to start having a conversation about. And then, propagating that out on, whatever platform, Stack Overflow or Slack or something like that. There's a lot of chat clients that you can share and communicate with other people about. But like having a code base in order, like sometimes I see people come onto the Facebook group, the React Facebook group, and they're like, my code doesn't work. We're like, oh, okay, can we see some code to tell you why it doesn't work? And they're like, no. And we're like, well, we can't help you. Like, if you want to contribute and be part of this community, you gotta contribute and be part of this community. You can't just be like, this sucks. Womp womp.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Where can we find you on the internet?
I'm at Devon BL at all the places.
Hey there. Are you into reactive programming using JavaScript? Do you have to deal with asynchrony in your web app? Then join this instructor Ben Lesh to learn all of the ins and outs of RxJS in his hands-on workshop. Available online and in person, go to rxworkshop.com for more details and to book your spot today.